Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Episode number 413, Drink It Till You podcast, the only podcast that lasts until the last drop. How the hell is your Sunday going? How the hell was your week? Hope everybody's okay. I hope you're safe out there. I'm drinking once again my 100 proof rum, poured over ice, nothing special, no kind of mix. So that's what I'm having for this episode. If you got them, drink them. Bottoms up. Cheers, everybody. All right. Watching a little bit of UFC rerun. Chimaev versus Du Plessis. As you know, UFC had their last event last week for the year. I was watching some BKFC to kind of fill that void. UFC left. I'm watching this kind of rerun here. Tons of fights this weekend, actually. The BKFC event was pretty good. I watched the co-main and the main event. And, yeah, dude, it's apparently, from what the broadcasters were saying, they've had 2 waves of UFC fighters come through, and now they're on their 3rd wave of guys coming from the UFC to try the bare knuckle boxing thing, which is, obviously no kicks, no knees, no elbows. It's just straight up gloveless hands boxing. And it's pretty brutal, man. Like, I'm seeing these things online just about UFC and about how little the fighters get paid. And I'm really starting to believe it's true. Like, this kind of ties into it. I saw someone on a BKFC comment saying, Dana White should feel ashamed of himself for, having all these fighters and then, like, they have to do this to make money after the UFC. You know what I mean? Like, Anderson Silva was specifically spoken about online. And I'm kind of starting to see it, man. Like, I never really, you guys know me, like, I don't dig into the numbers. Like, even with my hockey team, I'll dig into the numbers a little bit, but I'm not going to give financial advice for a multi-million-dollar team. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to I don't care that much, first of all. And second of all, I don't have the answers. So what's the point of giving advice? But what I'm starting to see, like, I think I just saw is UFC's like worth $8 billion or something like that. And the more I keep watching UFC, you see almost every fighter, when they're done with their fight, and they're doing the post-fight interview, you see almost every fighter hit up Dana White for $50,000. Like, that $50,000 bonus is what they're all kind of begging for. And it's like, dude, that's kind of insane. I've never really thought about that aspect of it before. Like, obviously, I know it's a business. I know they make money, but you can't, these guys are like giving up so much of their life to train to become, a fighter, to try to win that UFC belt, and they're making like Dallas Cowboys cheerleader pay per fight. You know what I mean? It's not that bad. Like, I heard back in the day, it was the cheerleaders used to make like $50 per home game. And it's like there's only a limited number of it. Just take that 16 game schedule and half it. Half of those are going to be at home. So you can just do the math right there. That's not that much money. And it's kind of sad, the more I'm watching it, it's like I'm contributing to the badness. You know what I mean? Like, I'm watching it, I'm talking about it, I'm tweeting about it, I'm putting out episodes, I'm not like growing the game like in a huge way, of course, but I'm still promoting it. For whoever listens to my podcast, I constantly talk UFC when I can pronounce the names. But yeah, dude, I didn't know it was that bad. And apparently, just kind of thinking over it, since I have been reading these comments over this past week, it's really not, he's doing them wrong. And I don't dislike Dana White necessarily. Like, I think what he's got going is a good thing. He's kind of trying to, do as much as he can to make it the most entertaining giving us the best fights. You know, no there's matchmakers and stuff, but it's just kind of messed up, man. And I totally get, you know, the not giving people handouts kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm not for giving people handouts, especially if you've spent money, you spent time, you spent effort, you've paid people to like grow this concept, to grow this fighting championship thing. You know, I could totally understand where you're not willing to just split money with people. I totally, you know, just anybody anyway, just a random guy off the street. But the fighters are the ones that are bringing the show, you know, they're bringing the thunder, you know, so it's like I'm on board now. I am absolutely 100% on board. I'm going to be paying closer attention to people's comments and maybe like retweeting more and just kind of drawing attention to this fact that Dana White's making a shit ton of money and he's not paying these fighters. When you're begging her for a $50K bonus, come on. And out of what did they say, $1 billion or something like that, $50K is not shit. That's a nickel. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing. So yeah, I'm on board, man. Dana White, I love you, guy. Just pay these fucking guys more. I'm not saying you have to give them the keys to the kingdom, but they should not be begging. It's a bad look. It honestly is. And I never knew, you know, of course I know everybody wants the $50K bonus because they want to be the fight of the night or like be impressive or, you know, kind of figure out what Dana thinks about him or how he feels about the, you know, that's what I thought it was. Just kind of more of a validation thing, but come to find out it's it's like, dude, I got a mortgage payment, bro. Like, come on. Help me out. I just knocked this guy out in the first round. I need that $50K like now. That's kind of fucked up, man. But it's just such a double-edged sword because if you start letting it run rampant, then you know everybody's going to be hitting you up for money, and now you're drained all of a sudden. You know, let's say he starts paying the bonuses are 100K. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, that it mathematically starts to look bad whenever you do start paying people more. But I mean, come on. If they're begging for $50K, I can't imagine how much they're making during the fight. A fight that's making so much money. Yeah, there's got to be a little bit more fairness. So I'm totally down with that. I'm totally down with UFC fighters getting paid more. I didn't know it was that bad. Like I said, I just thought that asking for the $50K bonus was more of a validation thing. You know, if you're getting a $50K bonus from Dana White, it means he feels some kind of way about you, which is a good thing. You know, he's putting his money where his mouth is. He's like, damn, that was an awesome fight. Here's the $50K. Good job. I'm not going to look it up now, but I am kind of curious now how much they make. I really, really am. And these are like main event fighters. You know what I mean? Like how much... They can't all be making the same thing, right? There's just... I don't know how it works, but... yeah, like I said, I am down for Dana paying these fighters more. Like, I don't think they're being greedy. I just think they're just trying to... Like that tweet said, they're trying to make a sustainable living so that way when their UFC career's over, they don't have to go box Woodley, you know, to make extra money to keep the lights on. That's bullshit. You know, it's like if you're in that industry, you're in the UFC, they got to take care of you, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So yeah, anyway, as I mentioned, former UFC champion and Anderson Silva, boxing match with Woodley. Silva wins that one. That was pretty awesome. And I keep seeing people clowning Woodley. Apparently he's sponsored by Dude Wipes, and they decided to put the logo, at least in 2 fights, the pictures I saw, they decided to put the logo on his ass. So when he's getting knocked out, he's face down on the mat with his ass showing the advertisements for Dude Wipes. It's like somebody's like, that's honestly the most genius advertisement play from any company ever. Like, they know he's going to get beat up. Let's put it on his ass. Then you'll see the dude wipes, the free advertisement when he's knocked out. So yeah, that happened. Anthony Joshua, who is an absolutely monstrous human being. I mean, good God, dude. Like, you might as well be in there fighting fucking Superman, dude. Like, that guy is just ridiculous. Jake Paul's not a small guy, and you could kind of tell that. Mike Tyson's never been the tallest guy, of course, but Mike Tyson's got some width to him. You know what I mean? He's a thick boy, and just seeing him and Paul next to each other, I'm like, all right, Jake Paul's got some decent size. It's not bad. But yeah, Anthony Joshua just absolutely, it's one of my favorite pictures now, is right before the knockout punch or the jaw-breaking punch. Anthony Joshua is just fucking grinning ear to ear right before he's going to throw that right cross to pretty much end the fight. Dude, it is one of the best pictures. It's like he knows what's about to happen. And this is what we've all been waiting to see, I wouldn't pay to see it. I would never pay for a Jake Paul fight. Like, this is just a clown show. It's been a clown show. But it was nice to see him get rocked like that, Like, what burns me up is, like, him hitting Mike Tyson. Just at all. I know they're in a boxing match, exhibition, whatever. But just the fact that Jake Paul has not the ability is not the platform, I guess is what I'm trying to say, to punch Mike Tyson, it just bugs the shit out of me. It's like watching Ali fight after his prime and someone's like beating him up. You know what I mean? It's like that shit boils my fucking blood. You know what I mean? Because it's like, Jake Paul, he shouldn't be there anyway. The only reason he is there is because he's got money. You know what I mean? Like, and not to take anything away from him, he's grown his money. He's done his entertainment thing. Basically the WWE version of boxing. But yeah, this is what we've all been waiting for. This is what people have probably been paying money for the past 5 fights of his to see, is him to get knocked. You thought it was going to happen during the Tyson fight because, Jesus Christ, he's fighting Mike Tyson. He might be an older man, but it's still Mike Tyson, If something snaps in Tyson's brain while he's in that ring with you, and he's just unpredictable. That's not somebody I would want to be in the ring with, dude. I've seen him laugh and cry and also get angry within like 5 minutes in an interview. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the guy you want to be across the ring from, and hopefully he doesn't like have a flashback when he's fighting like Holyfield or something and start coming after me. I mean, that's the kind of shit. It always reminds me of that one of my favorite Richard Pryor jokes. It has me on the floor crying every time I hear him talk about it. I mean, it's just one of his best bits. And from what I know, it's a true story. You know what I mean? Like, that's what makes it even better. But he said he's doing some, and Richard Pryor boxed a little bit, but he's doing some charity event when he's, the stand-up comedian Richard Pryor by this point. Doing a charity event, he's going to get in the ring with Muhammad Ali. They get gloves on. It's an exhibition. It's kind of a ha-ha funny thing. And it's, they introduce Pryor first. He comes out to the ring first, and then here comes Ali. He gets in the ring, but Ali is like serious when he's in there. And he's looking across the ring at Richard Pryor, and he's like mouthing things like, I'm going to kill you. Like, it's over. You know what I mean? Like, just intimidating the fuck out of him. And Richard Pryor's over there going like, he knows this is for charity, right? Like, this isn't real. It's like freaking out. Which, understandably so. You know, if Mike Tyson did that same thing to Jake Paul, like started mouthing he's gonna kill him, Jake Paul would cancel the fight immediately, right there, right then and there in the ring with gloves on and everything, and all the people showed up. Yeah, I mean, he's unpredictable. You don't want that guy having a flashback while he's punching on you. You know what I mean? So anyway, Anthony Joshua, great fucking job, dude. He hit him so hard. I've watched it a million times. I've watched the jab to the body, the cross to the face, to the head, probably a million times. It was great. And the look on Jake Paul's face, he looks fucking terrified. He gets popped in the head. He falls down and he's like, wow. Jake Paul's like, wow. It's like, yeah, dude, that's what you've been waiting for, isn't it? You've been waiting for that real power. I kind of want to know, too. The wow kind of has me, after Jake Paul got knocked down, kind of has me wondering if they had an agreement. And mid-fight, or just from the beginning of the fight, Anthony Joshua was like, no, fuck that. He's like, I already bet on myself anyway. I'm knocking this fucking asshole out, And then once Jake Paul gets knocked down, he's on the mat. He's like, wow, because he's probably thinking the amount he offered him to not do that to him versus the amount he offered him. You're not getting shit if you do that to me. You know what I mean? Just kind of makes you wonder, and it's all fake anyway. I'm not sitting here watching these fights. I'm not paying for it for sure. But it was nice to watch Jake Paul get his fucking jaw broken. I'm sorry to say that, but it is. We've all been waiting for that. He's not the elite boxer he thinks he is. He's not the elite boxer that his words constantly say he is, and just running his mouth. And, and I'll give Jake Paul a little bit of credit, too. I think I've said this on like an episode a few months back, but he has improved. Like, don't get me wrong. He has been dedicating more of himself to the boxing, obviously, since he's been doing it, and he has improved. He can throw a punch. His defense looked a little shaky, like holding your hands down while that big son of a bitch is about to pop you it's insane. What do they always say? What does the ref always say? Protect yourself at all times. That's the reason why, It's because that's why. Anyways, let's go ahead and have another drink. Cheers, everybody. All right, I am all caught up on Tulsa King. Ready for the new season. I believe that comes out next year. Excited for that. I started watching this other show called 1923 on Paramount. It has Harrison Ford in it. I can't remember Harrison Ford's wife's name in the movie, but she's fucking, or the actress's name, but she is fucking awesome, dude. Like, I'm loving this fucking show, and it's basically about, that gives it away. That's the time period. So there's, it's kind of coming to the end of the Old West days, but there's still a lot of that still alive. People fighting over land and big shootout gunfights and all this stuff. And, it's basically the way it used to be, but it's a really good show so far. I did sleep my way through a couple of episodes, so I got to go back and watch more. But I'm liking it. It's entertaining. To be honest with you, I'm not really into things that have like love stories and stuff in it. But this show's actually got a couple of love stories that I'm just not bothered by. I'm like, okay, I like it. They kept it wholesome enough and like sweet enough to where it's not, I don't know, like overdone. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But it's not bothering me is the point. And it's really easy to bother me doing all this lovey-dovey bullshit. I think it's a good balance. That's probably what it is. It's probably 75% action, 10% politics, and the rest is the love stories. There's a couple of them going on. But it's kind of cool too because you really didn't back then have a lot of time. You know what I mean? Like you were probably on your way out at 40, you know? So it's like, it kind of makes sense. Like looking at it through the 2025 lens, it's like, why, while I'm watching the show, I'm like, why is everybody just so willing to get like wifed up so quick? And like, I just met this person, but I want to marry you. And it's like, it kind of makes sense. You didn't have a lot of time. You had to start a family soon with someone you loved immediately. You know what I mean? So I guess that's kind of why it doesn't bother me, is because it was, they were passionate about each other, but it was almost like survival in a way too. But yeah, they're doing like they're hitting so many different versions of that time period back then. And what I mean is, obviously you have the ranch where you have the workers and they're fighting with other ranchers over grass and green grass to eat, and you own all this land and you won't let anyone else use it, and we're starving and blah blah blah. And then you have one of the other guys who's over in Africa. So it's like that whole, like, not to take it there, but that whole like Tarzan kind of theme going in the show too. There's one guy who, that's what he does. If there's predators out in the wild in Africa, and these explorers are out there or trying to uncover treasure, they need this guy's help to basically like track the animals that are killing them one by one and kill the animals so they can get on with their business. So that's kind of what he does. That's kind of how he meets his love connection, which this is the one where they fall in love like in a day. Which just seems insane to me, but you would call that lust, wouldn't you? You wouldn't call that love. You don't even know that person. That's just lust. And the little blonde British chick that he falls for, I mean, I get it. I totally get it. She's hot. Not only the accent, but goddamn, she's just hot. Her personality, is great. The accent is great. She's got a great body. She's fucking hot. But anyways, so yeah, that's kind of where he meets her, is on these excursions and protecting these certain people and all this and that. So it's a good show. I like it so far, man. I'm trying to decide between Landman and Lioness next. I've heard great things about both. I don't know how many seasons there are to this show. I'm just now picking up, but we'll see. What else have I been watching? Yeah, I don't think I've caught any movies. I really want to go to the theater and watch the second Sisu. I think it's still at theaters, and I actually think it's on live stream now too. So that's a movie I gotta watch. I loved the first one. The first Sisu was great. It was just like my style, my pace of movie. I love it. When there's just shit happening, but there's not dialogue, like that's a good paced movie to me. You're watching this guy in one of the opening scenes dig for gold, and there's like warplanes flying over, headed to a location probably to go fight or help or whatever they're doing. It's like, but nothing needs to be said for you to get the message. I fucking love that. So yeah, and on top of it, all the violence, like he's almost like a ghost, Sisu. It's like you've heard the legend. Many people have tried to kill him. He just keeps coming back. It's that kind of thing, which is really awesome. I love that kind of stuff. So, oh yeah, I did start watching The Equalizer. I have not seen any of the Equalizer movies. I feel bad about that. But yeah, I'm already hooked. The first one, he talks to that girl in the diner, and then he kind of starts to realize what her life is like and what she does for work and all this and that, and starts to get involved. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna definitely sit down with that series and go through it, because I fucking love Denzel Washington. He's one of my all-time favorite actors, hands down. But yeah, did we go through all the fights? I think we got through all the fights. BKFC, oh yeah, I already talked about that a little bit, but good co-main, good main event. Good shit. Those heavyweights in that main event, boy. You did not want to be getting punched by one of those guys with no gloves on. Dude, some of these guys... Well, first off, let me say, and I've said this before, some of these guys in the BKFC, I mean, they look like they just got out of prison. I'm pretty sure one of them was wearing an ankle monitor during his fight a few weeks back. First off, you don't know where you're getting these guys from. It's like that unpredictability thing I was just speaking to about Mike Tyson. Like, you get two fucking newly released convicts and this is the first way they can make money, dude. That's going to be a tough fight. It's like bum fights. You're kind of exploiting their situation, but they're not bums. They haven't been eating dirt and grass for the past 10 years. They've been in the cells, like pumping iron and fucking eating crazy protein and fighting off other inmates. Like, dude, it's just, they got a good thing going. They know what they're they know what they're doing. It's crazy, dude. Anyways, let's go ahead and have another drink. We'll get into some hockeys. All right. Going back about a week, I mean, the day after I released this episode, the Dallas Stars played the LA Kings. Their goaltender Kemper is out now after getting run into by Rantanen. And I just got to say, you're not allowed to extend the crease. You know, if you're outside of the crease, you know, there's like the blue part of the crease where the goalie mainly stands, and then there's that red line on the outside of that blue paint, kind of signifying like this is the boundary. It's the same for the trapezoid over in the corner. You know, that's the boundary. They have the boundary painted with those red lines. If the puck goes into there, the goalie skates over within that boundary and touches the puck, it's a penalty. So it's the same thing with the crease, man. And just watching this play over and over, seeing all the drama on Twitter, people talking shit, and oh, Rantanen's at it again. Oh, Rantanen's fitting right in with Dallas with his dirty play. Dude, he's not a dirty player. Now, there was one hit early in the season. I even said this on the episode. Like, I don't condone that. I think that was a bad hit. But what we're not going to do is ask Rantanen to play less, to play softer, to appease any. That's not how this works. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to ask him to. I applaud him playing to his fullest. I applaud the Josh Hamilton bone where you can't turn it down to 95%. It's 100% all the time, or it's nothing. I love that. You know, like, I applaud Rantanen for that. So yeah, we're not gonna ask him to dial it down. Now I will say, if he's committing like horrendous penalties that don't make any sense, Jamie Benn, then yeah, dial it back a little bit. Like, lower the intensity on that level of the game. But as far as like going after the puck and checking and doing all that, yeah, have at it. It's not our fault. He's like a men amongst boys a lot of the time. You know what I mean? And this just goes back to that one play. I forget who the guy was and what team he was on. But he goes, like, Rantanen has his back turned to the net where he's trying to, like, work the puck to shoot to score. His back's turned to the net. The D-man comes up from behind him and tries to, like, you know, cross-check him or move him out of the way or just knock him off the puck. And the guy ends up running into Rantanen and hurting himself. You know what I mean? Like, and the way Rantanen turned around, it was almost like just like a little fly hit him. And he was like, what was that? You know what I mean? And the other guys on the ice, like, hurt. It's like, you can't blame the guy for that. You can't blame him for being such a big unit of a human. Ready for this wild Avalanche game too, by the way, today. I'm excited for that one. Stars play a little bit later. But you can't be mad at the guy for that. Like, he's just a big, hard-playing guy. And we're not going to ask him to stop doing that. So your player, and is it unfortunate that people are getting hurt from it? Yes, of course. Injuries happen. This is nothing new. Players get hurt by other players all the time. If it was malicious or not, I think that's the thing they worry about more than anything. Or was there a hit to the head? But yeah, as far as yeah, him playing hard, yes, I love it. Rantanen's the style of player that I've been dreaming and begging for on this team for so long. Now let's go back to when we lost to the Blues, and the Blues went on to beat the Bruins in the Stanley Cup that season. If we have a player like Rantanen and we have a player like Bichel, we win that series. I can almost guarantee we win that series because that's the only thing we were missing was that physicality. And I've been asking for this for so long. You have to be physical, man. You have to bow up. No one's going to give it to you, but it's just like the fighting thing, man. You got to back the other guy down. Sure, he might be running around the enlarged ring that he produced and avoiding your punches, but you're going to have to eventually run him down, corner him, jab him to the body, and hit him with the right cross to knock his jaw loose. You know what I mean? Like, that, it is what it is. These are men playing a sport. You're going to have to be the alpha. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. It is what it fucking is. And that's what I loved about I know you're technically only allowed to have one alpha, but that's what I loved about the old 90s Stars team. There were so many guys who could have been the alpha on that. I mean, even to the goaltender. Eddie the Eagle Belfour, if you got near that fucking crease, your ankle was getting hacked, bro. Like, full force. He's not giving you a love tap. You might go out of the game because of it. You know what I mean? But yeah, so asking Rantanen to dial it down is just not going to happen. I've been dreaming for this kind of player for so fucking long. Not only is he a big brute, but he's fucking skilled. Like, he's a unique, special, one-of-a-kind player, and I'm fucking Jim Nill. I could kiss you, buddy, on the forehead, though. Just for making this deal happen. That's amazing. The day I heard Rantanen was coming to the Dallas Stars, I couldn't fucking believe it. It was like a dream come true. And this is exactly why. Not because he's out there hurting people maliciously, but he's playing full force. That's what it takes. And yeah, as far as the crease goes, dude, if you're like the above camera or the above goal view, like, you couldn't even see the red line. Like, Kemper is out, extended beyond his crease. And I just say, if that's the case, you're subject to getting hit by somebody flying by. It just is what it is. That's not dirty. That's just you not staying within your boundaries, or you trying to extend. You can't extend the crease, man. You can't extend the crease. You have to stay within that boundary or face the consequence. And Kemper is facing the consequence. I'm not saying I wanted him to get hurt or I was hoping Rantanen would go after him. No, none of that. But, I mean, there's boundaries for a reason. And he was definitely his arm and his head were poking out over the boundary. You can't extend the crease like that. I think that's why the league, as much as I've disagreed on a lot of calls over the years, that's why they didn't do anything. They did not suspend Rantanen. They didn't fine him. I don't even think they called a penalty on him. They just called the goal back. We happened to score on that play, but I guess since it was such a weird play. But anyways, but yeah, never going to ask Rantanen to play less. I love that style of play. I love that he's even on our team. So, yeah, just a little bit of MLB or Texas Rangers, to be more specific, news before I get out of here this week. I read something over the years was going on between Semien and Seager. There was some kind of apparent feud, which, I could always kind of see from the outside a little bit as a fan. It's weird how you can kind of see that stuff. I could tell in Semien that there was something, I don't want to say off, but you could tell he was a little snooty. You know what I mean? And now that this is coming out years later, Simeon's gone, Seager's still here. But now that they're disbanded, our championship team, Adolis is gone to the Phillies now. This is kind of coming out, and it's like weird how you can see it as a fan, But I think the most beautiful part is no matter what their problems were with each other, they both manned up and got a championship here to Texas, which is huge. Like, that says even more to me, that you can not like one of your teammates, probably with a passion, but you can still be professional enough to show up every day, hit the ball, make the double play, do all the things you need to do to get to play on that high level to win the championship. Like, that's admirable to me. That's being a fucking professional. They never let that shit get out until now. You never saw them arguing on the field. They're just being fucking pros, and we needed pros on this team to win that championship, man. We got that one. So they recently asked DeGrom, too, if, Texas's time is over. DeGrom is like, thinks it's not. He's like, no, man, like we're building, they've built this team to last. They're going to make the proper moves to get us where we need to be. But yeah, we're ready to take over the league for the next couple of years, which is great to hear from him. But I don't know if it's necessarily true that will happen. I'm just being realistic. I'm a loyal Texas Rangers fan. Like, don't call me a fair weather fan. I'm not. I'm just, there's a difference between being fair weather and being realistic, that's why it's so irritated me. I haven't talked any football in like a month, but here it is. That's why it so irritated me. Before this season started, the Eagles won last season. They won the championship. Obviously, the NFC East, we share that division with the Eagles. And Dak sees this after they win the championship, and he goes, this is on film too, by the way, I'm not making this up. He goes, all right, next year it's our turn. That's what he said. Next year it's our turn. It's like, dude, you are so fucking delusional right now. Like, you're not even on the same fucking level. And I said that after I saw that video. I had basically told Dak to shut the fuck up on the episode. But that's why I told him to shut the fuck up, is because, no, that's not true. You can't just say it and it's going to happen. There's a lot more pieces that we don't have that those teams have that is not going to make it our turn next. And now look at the NFL standings. I'm pretty sure the Cowboys are either losing right now to the Chargers or have lost. I'm pretty positive. That doesn't look like next year is our year, does it? I get it for being, the team leader, trying to motivate and stuff, but don't be fucking delusional. I'm sure some of his teammates rolled their fucking eyes at that. You know what I mean? Like, dude, no. We don't have the coaching. We don't have the pieces. What the fuck are you talking about? It's our turn next. You got a long way to go for that one, buddy. So anyways, that's going to do it for me for the episode. Thank you guys, as always, for listening. Let's go ahead and finish these off. They last until the last drop. If you got them, drink them, bottoms up. Cheers, everybody. Oh, my God. Oh, that burned a little bit. All right, as always, don't drink and drive. Treat yourself to an Uber. Treat yourself to a Lyft. Treat yourself to a DoorDash, a Waymo. Hey, we're only a couple of weeks away from 2026. Supposedly when Waymo's coming here to Dallas, I can't wait to try it out. But yeah, just don't drink and drive. It's not safe. It's not smart. I want to talk to you all next week, so just be safe out there. I love you all. Talk to you then. Bye!